Stardock for a Galactic Civilizations III Intrigue dev stream, and behind us is Trixie, Paul's canine companion. So say hey, Paul, what's up?
She's probably going to go pass out on the floor in a minute. But
He's been feeding her treats to bribe her so that you can see her. So
yes.
this is our pal here.
High five. High five.
Oh, I didn't know you taught her that new trick.
All right, now
awesome.
we actually have to go to work. So
yeah, I suppose we should.
here's the remainders of your treats.
The remainder of your reward.
All right.
Pop out the chat here.
So
we're going to talk about Intrigue, yeah?
We are going to talk about Intrigue. And
Sweet.
I was just going to start by starting a game with and kind of pointing out the new things.
Yeah.
And as questions come in, I'll try and answer them, and we can.
Sounds great.
So when you first start the game, there's not a lot of super obvious new things. We did add, so I'm going to play as humans because everybody loves humans.
Yeah.
We did add this, which is really nice. This gives you a breakdown of when your settings are. So you can see here.
Yeah, that's great.
So you, instead of having to go to multiple screens to everything, it just kind of gives you a really quick breakdown.
Yeah.
It'll also tell you if you're pushing pushing the barriers of
right, because if you're playing those really big maps, it takes up a lot of space, right?
Yeah. All right, so that's but Intrigue is primarily the main feature by Trixie. The main thing we added for Intrigue is governments. Well, the big bullet points. We've added governments,
right.
which is there's several governmental systems now, but a bunch of them all Derek
There's like 20
created.
or something.
Yeah,
it's a lot.
Really interesting. We added crises, which are essentially chained mega events that go on, and they can do major things. They blow up worlds. They can give you really cool improvements. You can a lot of fun stuff like that, and then a lot of other little things. Economic changes. We now have taxes back, but with a twist. And then of course, and food. Food is completely different now.
Right.
Actually,
now food was a 3.0 change, right?
We did trickle that down to everything, but
yeah.
So now you build food on arable land, which is nice. I probably shouldn't have done that first. As always, we'll probably end up cheating just because.
Because Paul's a big cheater.
We want to show things.
Let's just be honest about it.
The truth is, this is kind of a long-term game.
Yeah.
Tech tree's been cleaned up a lot.
I like how it feels a little more streamlined.
Yeah.
And then in regards to governments and tech trees, that all relates to the potential for commonwealths, right?
Yes. And then the other big feature, which we might have to cheat to actually get to in this hour, is commonwealths. So a lot of people play these huge games.
Right.
And you end up with a bunch of allies, or you're doing a lot of micromanagement. With Intrigue, you can now set up commonwealths of your from your own colonies. So you can select like 3 or 4 colonies and say, you are now the Commonwealth of Paulstan. And they will then inherit all of your traits. You can customize them so they have a different portrait, different things like that. But they essentially become a permanent ally. And you're essentially saying, I would like the AI to run this part of my empire for me. So, all right. Oh,
that's
look,
pretty fantastic.
I'm playing as a Charon.
So is there anything that you specifically worked on the most, or were you just kind of all-encompassing?
I was really a floater on this. I did a little bit on the crisis things. I pretty much always do all the screens for the governments and everything. Mm-hmm. And then I fix a lot of bugs. So Derek actually did most of the design for the governments.
Oh, okay.
Which is nice.
We've got everything from like democracies to you being able to enslave your working class. Yeah. I don't remember the name of that.
And like some of the major things, like one of the things we did add, I said it's hard to. Intrigue is got so many small improvements. It's hard to kind of remember which ones are which. But I'm going to go ahead and rush this so that I can. Get going so we can start building. So we need to have a government.
Now, are governments based, like, does your race matter as to what your government options are?
I believe there are some that are, they're like any other thing. There's some that are, you have to be malevolent for, you have to, but as a rule, you can unlock pretty much anything, but they will greatly change how the game plays.
Right.
So I'm going to get it. Oops. I always feel weird on these because GalCiv is such a long-term game. It's really hard to do things to rush, whereas I really want to I want to sit and tweak. Okay, and then we added taxes. So now your government, your money you're making is based on your taxes.
You can really piss people off by taxing them.
But the more you tax people, the less, the bigger hit to approval.
Right.
So.
And that can affect like elections and things of certain types of governments, right?
So it allows you to, I really need money. It makes approval much more important. I need more money, but I've put a lot of investment into making sure my people are happy through trades or techs or improvements, and therefore I can tax them more.
Right.
So let's see what else. Let's go ahead. I'm probably gonna be talking to people quickly.
Gives kind of a whole new meaning to the idea of taxing people to death.
Well, yeah, you don't want to. Anyway, so once I have another planet, which I probably should have just done Mars, because I wanted, if we're in a hurry here.
Yeah, Mars.
But
whatever.
Okay. So now this is, and we added a bunch more events. Derek added a ton of more events. So we have all of these. And they tend to be a little more high stakes. So you want to pay attention to these galactic events as much as possible. So they really matter. Yeah. So this one is Blight has affected Earth. Your administrator is warned. There's food. Stockpiling food. Now, don't be like me. Because I tend to make these decisions based on what type of ideology I want.
Right.
But the fun is,
Trixie, it's okay. She just growled at the door. We don't know why. So
you'll still need a strength of this. So I'm gonna go with pragmatic. Really? This is why you don't invite. Maggie never made noise. Maggie was a very quiet dog.
Trixie is a good dog, but Trixie is not as quiet
energetic.
As Maggie. Yes, she's a young thing.
And Maggie was 14.
Well, Paul you told me that you've almost had her a year, right?
Yeah, it'll be a year at the end of this month.
That's super exciting.
Okay, so I need a planet so that I can then start needing to govern, so I can show people that, and I don't want to cheat if I don't have to.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and keep going up.
So if you're just tuning in, welcome to the stream. I'm Christy, and this is Paul. Paul is one of the lead designers on GalCiv III, and we are going over some of the stuff that we just added in Intrigue, which came out last week. So government is the big thing. We got taxes now.
All right, so I'm going to get my...
Taxes were in 3.0, I believe, which also came out with Intrigue. That was a free update.
All right, okay, so now I have 2 planets, so the game is asking me... Okay. You need to govern your people. So when you first start, a lot of these get unlocked. Some of them get unlocked by a racial trait required. So this one, if I'm not a bureaucrat, which is a trait you pick when you create your race, I can never be a theocracy.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I'm not a ancient. I can never be a unity.
So you have to be like an Altarian.
So this is one of the things, but we make that up by having a ton.
Yeah, there are a lot of options.
Now, when you first start, you pretty much have 2.
Right.
So we're gonna start. Colonial is kind of more like what the base game is, but the problem is you have elections, so you actually have to start worrying about approval.
Right.
We want to show elections, so I'm going to pick this. If you pick Imperial, there's no elections, but you have a limit of 4. Oh, you have a limit of 4 colonies. Oh. And you get a negative to diplomacy, and you get a negative to ship construction.
So maybe Colonial's good.
Yeah, so Colonial, I get a plus 10 to... I do have a limit of 4.
Now, can you change your government later, or how does
Yes,
that work?
well, that's what's it. And as we play it, let's just go ahead and start. I'm going to say change government.
I love the icon design.
And
so I
then
don't know
this
who
just
did this,
says,
but-
those are all Leo.
Leo
Actually,
did that?
some of them I designed, but then he redid them.
Because they look awesome. I really
yeah,
I
to
mean,
make
it's
them
like
all
a simple
match.
thing, but I really like the way they
Yeah.
look.
So it's
26 weeks
all
before
right,
you
so
change it again. Okay.
now I can go into my government here, and it actually tells me more details about the government I have.
Right.
Now, those bonuses that we saw are coming from
That's Jillian. I'm sorry, I'm looking at all I see is Jillian.
and Jenna.
So when Leo designed the citizens back for Crusade, he came around to a lot of us and said, "I'm going to take your picture." We're like, "Okay," and now we see our faces in GalCiv, and it's kind of weird. So and that is my coworker Jillian's face.
Well,
I'm
I
looking
look
at right
like
now.
Hitler in here. I'm like some sort of like.
I haven't seen a picture of you yet.
Yeah, it's pretty scary. So I don't know if there was some commentary.
With Leo, probably not.
So now, one of the neater things about the governments is they give you these cabinet members, right? So now some of them have more,
guys.
like 4.
Yeah.
But then there is also a crisis manager. So some crises
Okay.
will give you a cabinet member that you can then assign.
Right.
So depending on your government, they will give you extra bonuses to that government. So essentially the crises and the governments kind of dovetail into each other.
Okay.
And it makes it for a lot of fun. So
That's pretty cool.
But in the meantime, this is in the beginning. It really just comes out to whereas she gives me 10% to growth, and she gives me 10%, and then these are special things that come with this government. Like I now can do this contract mission, or I can now do missions.
Contracts.
I have to have, and I still have a colony cap of 4.
Okay.
And that's not going to be a problem for a while. But
and because they hold elections, you really got to keep your people happy so that you don't lose those bonuses.
Well, no,
right?
and so it gives you one more thing to pay attention to: import-export center. Okay, and then
hey, Dizzy Plays. So they're asking specifically, what do cabinet members do?
They all do different things.
Okay, so they're randomly assigned, right?
No,
not.
these
Okay.
come with the government.
Gotcha. Okay.
So each government has different cabinet members.
Gotcha.
Now, only one of the slots is assignable, and that is the slot that is assignable to ones you are awarded through crises.
Okay.
Which I'm not. I'm not 100% sure we'll have time to get to one of those, but maybe we can fake one just to, or force one.
Force one. Because Paul cheats.
I do cheat when we're doing demos.
Well, of course. Why wouldn't you?
Okay.
So.
And now I'm out of administrators already.
So hopefully that answered your question about the cabinet members. They have different bonuses, and it also depends on, I'm sure, your race and what government you pick and things like that. So.
And now here's another one of those Meanwhile events. This is colonies.
Oh, that's neat.
This is a global thing going on.
Is this the Galactic News Network, or
that's
the robot from it, right?
That's why I was a little confused what's going on. Yes, this is this essentially saying colonies running civilization began celebrating anniversaries of various colonial milestones. I guess I should actually not read them as if I.
This has led way to a very confusing holiday calendar.
Yeah. So essentially, we're getting a 10% approval bonus for 10 turns, which is great. I wish that would have happened right before the election.
Right.
Now, the other thing about elections is that it goes by this rating, not this rating.
Oh.
So this is your average over the last 9 weeks. So if you can't just at the last turn before an election lower your tax to 100% to 0 and then expect everybody to vote for you.
Gotcha.
So
you actually have to be an upstanding person for consistently.
But there are governments that essentially work with you overtaxing. So there's different. That's the whole point, is to add multiple new strategies to playing the game well and to winning. So
yes.
All right. So I will ship, and I still haven't found another colony. It's so embarrassing.
What size map are you playing on, Paul?
I think I might have said large.
Large, okay.
And now this is this is Starfleet. Okay, so that's.
Meanwhile.
Okay, and then we've also added the GNN. So.
Oh yeah, I think the GNN's actually cool. Like it's a minor feature, but I like it. I think
well,
it's really
essentially,
helpful.
GNN's here to remind you to add life to the galaxy. So as you play, it starts saying, "Hey, 10 turns in, Mars is your." Wait, so the research centers have existing surveys. Most. So this is essentially all of my
So, like, you have yet to see these planets that are...
Oh, weird. Yes, these are other worlds that are not in my control. So, in other words, like, probably Archaea or, you know, other planets are actually...
Right.
So, it'll, like, give you breakdowns of, you know, what's the highest rating, the most wealthiest planets, and then there's other things besides just like that.
Right.
But that's your early game, you'll get a lot of those.
Okay.
Okay, now, and then we still have ideology traits.
Right.
Pretty much behave the same. Oh, and of course, I'm going to go with the constructors.
If you're just tuning in, welcome to the stream. I'm Christy, and this is Paul. Paul Boyer is our lead dev, one of our lead devs on GalCiv III, and we're talking about our newly released expansion, Intrigue. And so feel free to ask us questions in the chat. I do pay attention. It's just, we talk a lot. So if it takes me a while to get around to you, rest assured that I will.
All right. I'm going to go back to the main tree.
Alrighty.
I like to go here because then I can just pick whatever's cheapest if I really...
This is your technology research? Okay.
All right.
But you pick what's cheapest, you said?
No, it depends on where we are. Since the whole point of this is kind of to do things quickly.
Right.
All right, and then, okay, now here's another new feature is we added the Galactic Marketplace.
Yeah.
But to get the marketplace, you have to be mining something. So let's go start mining some Durantium. And then because I'm...
And that's different from the base game in that this allows you to buy and sell and trade resources, right?
Yes.
Whereas before you couldn't.
So yeah, if you really need Durantium and you can't find any, you can go buy it.
Right.
Or if you have a ton of Durantium, you can go sell it on the marketplace.
There's me. But I had blue hair.
I'm going to go with worker.
I don't know why I got a cowboy hat, though. I'm going to have to talk to him about that.
I wouldn't be surprised if you're in there multiple times.
That's true. That's entirely possible.
We got a worker here. All right. And then the bazaar, of course, is pretty much still the same. But is there any of these? There's one of these I really like.
Oh, Dizzy Plays. I like questions like this. We like to talk about games. So, Paul, they're asking if you have time to play anything else other than the games you're working on. So, like, what do you play in your free time? What do you like?
Oh, I'm constantly mocked, actually, for not playing enough games.
What?
I tend to buy games and then not actually have time to play them.
That is a real problem that I share with you.
Yeah, so, but right now, I just bought Far Cry 5.
I've heard a lot of really good things about that.
And then I am a big Bethesda fan.
Yeah.
So one of the reasons why I don't play a lot of games is I'm making a giant mod of Fallout.
Are you really?
So that's a whole nother...
So would you recommend that I play Fallout? Because I've actually never played any of them. At all.
That's a very controversial subject to speak about in public. So... I really liked Fallout 4, and, but I like Fallout, and I like all Bethesda games. It's a certain taste, you know.
Yeah. I loved Skyrim. Skyrim was one of my but I'm more of a high fantasy.
You
kind
probably
of person,
would like Fallout.
So I heard a lot of good things about Fallout. What's been taking
cheap
up my
now.
And
then I bought a Nintendo Switch when it first came out. I paid like premium price for it.
Have you touched it?
And I started playing Breath of the Wild, and then I got distracted by some crazy life stuff, and I haven't played it. So everybody is constantly deriding me. Ooh, look, I can maybe get in the middle of it.
I finally beat Breath of the Wild, but it's never really done because there's still a bunch of stuff to do. But like I played it, I loved it. But I can't stop playing Overwatch lately. I'll be honest. I'm one of those,
I don't really play
like filthy fangirls, and I'm not usually a first-person shooter person. I hate them.
I don't play
I'm bad at it.
Anything that requires multiple people.
Well, see, I like to play online with my friends, so like those kinds of games are.
See, that's the trick. Is you have friends. Trixie doesn't know how to play Overwatch.
Trixie needs opposable thumbs, don't you? She's like, I wish you guys could see her. She's like flopped on the floor. She's like,
there she goes.
Oh, there's the Trixie stretch. She's adorable.
So yeah, I really like that. So right now I'm doing a giant, like 3-year-long project on a Fallout mod that I'll probably never finish. But I think the last game I had time to play that wasn't one of ours, and I finished it, was Prey.
Oh, okay.
And I really liked that. And I know that's also a little controversial, but I enjoyed it a lot.
I don't know very much about that particular game, but...
It was a shooter. It was just a story. It was essentially System Shock 3.
Okay.
It was what System Shock 3 should have
So
been.
you saying Shock reminds me, I'm actually going back to, and like I know I'm like 12 years late, but I've never played the BioShock games. Normally, because stuff like that scares me. I'm a big wuss, and I live by myself. But the story was really intriguing.
That's
so I'm
embarrassing.
it's embarrassing because they're bad, or embarrassing because
No,
they're
because
12 years?
well, you have to play BioShock 1.
Yes, that's what I'm actually just started.
And I would
playing
actually
through.
recommend playing BioShock Infinite, but don't worry about the actual gameplay.
Yeah.
Just put on easy and run through the story.
That's
'Cause
exactly
the story,
what I'm going to do.
The story is amazing.
Yeah.
The gameplay is...
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I saw parts of it. A friend was playing it like years ago, and I'm like, I'm intrigued by this. I'm terrified, but I'm intrigued. So
No, they're both really good games. And I even played... I played... and actually System Shock, too, if you can stomach an older game, is also amazing. That might actually be...
See, this
better.
person... I'm so sorry if I said this wrong. Tratping Vin says that BioShock was too spooky for them, so thank you for making me feel not alone. And Dizzy Play says I should play some Ashes of the Singularity, and I can play it. That does not mean that I am good at it. So let's just
it's one of those things where it's like, you play the games you make.
Yes.
And then I just am so bad at it. It's kind of
I'm not good at a lot of like the real time stuff. Like I love StarCraft, but I'm bad at it. But I like it, so I can play it like especially by myself against it. Oh crap! It's those dang pirates every time. I remember when I first interviewed here, I said to people, I'm like, yeah, I was practicing, like, I was, like, researching the games and whatever. I said, I kept dying to pirates. They're like, you can turn that off, right? I'm like, I feel like that's cheating. Like, I feel like I can't turn pirates off.
I get that.
If I can't handle a couple of pirates, what am I?
I'm pretty embarrassed that I let myself wander into... Well, at one point, the pirates is one of those things that's constantly being balanced. So it's like, sometimes you'll never see them. And then you get complacent. And then, bam!
And then suddenly, pirates.
Yeah.
Somebody's asking to see Trixie. You want to come up here?
Come here, Trix.
Come here.
Up, up.
Here. There we go.
Okay, now, here.
For anybody who's just tuning in, this is Trixie. This is Paul's constant companion. We get to bring our dogs into work, which is super awesome.
Although she took a little time getting to mellow out because she's a lover.
She is very much. She can't
constantly jumps on everybody.
Enough. She does, but she's a good girl. You're a good dog, aren't you?
And that's hard when some executive comes in
and suddenly
like,
there's
nice $1,000 suit.
So. Yeah, but it's pretty cool to have them wandering around here. It's always nice to be able to get away from.
So, anyways.
So
we were talking about this game that we're making.
Oh yeah, I guess.
And I guess let's see. So we talked about the bazaar. I haven't got to the market yet, and I haven't. Man, we're already pretty far in. I might cheat to give us a.
Yeah, let's do that.
Commonwealth. I'm gonna do a little cheat.
And you said you need 4 planets or more to get the Commonwealth?
No, I think actually it just needs to be 2. Oh, I didn't.
He didn't just swear on stream. It's okay.
I said...
dang nabbit.
Dang it. Damn it. I was talking about the leaky river outside. Okay.
What games does Trixie play? I'm pretty sure she likes run as fast as she can away from Paul.
Yeah, she likes to run.
Does she fetch yet? Or we haven't?
She will fetch, but it's really a mood thing.
Yeah.
She's some sort of bird dog.
Bird dog?
I mean, she's got some sort of bird dog gene.
Does she chase birds down?
And she'll go out, if we're out in the grass, she'll run into the grass and bounce around and scare the birds out.
You're going to have to video that and send that to me because I bet that's adorable.
It's like watching Yoda in the second Star Wars prequel when he's...
That's awesome.
Yeah. So... I'm
going to start calling your dog Yoda.
Yeah, she looks a little bit like a house elf. I know that's a different phrase.
She does kind of look like Dobby.
Yeah.
Dude.
I was like, I should have named her Dobby. And I'm like, actually, Trixie is a good house elf name.
Good house elf name. I like that.
All right. So now let's see if I can... Okay, so now you'll see this tab is here.
Okay. And you have none at the moment.
I'm going to cheat a little more and give myself another color.
You guys didn't see anything.
Or no, I'm not because...
No, you're not. Today's not the day to be an honest person, Paul.
Well, let's just play a little more. The people who used to watch my streams know that I used to... Oh, look at that. That's sweet.
Oh, yeah. I just, and I've said it before, and I say this every time. I don't play a ton of this on my own time, but every time I look at it, I just love the design. It looks so nice. It really does.
That's good. because we put a lot of
I
work
know,
into
I
it.
know you did. I know.
I
So
know that
is a
Intrigue
compliment
Intrigue doesn't look a lot different.
Yeah.
You know, we added the overlays with Crusade, and that was really nice. Oh,
Yeah,
God.
actually, that's awesome. Oh, you got your Thulium mine. Oh, and a Prometheum mine.
Yeah, that's why that was such a good spot.
Okay.
Okay, now I'm going to force up a crisis.
Trixie does like the Pet Me Now game. That is definitely one of her favorite games. Kevin says he's experienced that firsthand.
Okay.
Running global event now. Okay. So you can just trigger a
Oh, you know
crisis
what?
with
No,
your...
I can't because I'm not far enough in the game, so I have to cheat even more.
Oh, like triple cheating.
No, right.
Now, only Paul can do this. I'm afraid that you guys can't. So...
Okay. So now you'll
wish
be
I
playing
could.
in around 50 turns, or actually there's a couple of them that come even earlier.
Yeah.
But you'll start to get these crises, and these are essentially chained events. So this one is called the simulation. Our researchers can start in conclusion that the entire galaxy is simply a simulation.
Oh, that's like...
No, I'm
very
sure
meta.
you've never heard this theory. Every solar system, planet, and citizen is merely a computer process, and our entire existence is not real.
That's really
So
weird.
then it says, attempt to contact the being that is controlling the simulation. Here's choice one. Avoid panic. Hide this information from the public. Find the limits of the situation and exploit them. That's pretty vague.
Are you going to do that?
I'm going to go with the pragmatic one.
Now, how
just
you
'cause
handle these crises can really affect like the types of things that you get from
Yeah.
them and the other.
Now,
other
because
events that
I
happen.
cheated this up, these will
Right.
come rapid fire. Normally, they have different delay times.
Okay.
So we'll see. I'm going to keep playing, and of
So
course,
you decided to be pragmatic about this,
yes,
and hid this
'cause
from the
that's
public,
just my-
because that's not going to come back to bite him in the butt at all.
Yes. All right. And these are one of Derek's babies, and he did put a lot of love into them. So they tell
The
a lot of
crises?
fun stories. Yeah. I only did one of them, and I felt like afterward, like maybe I could have done a better job.
Right.
Oh wait, no, it's perfect. It's great.
Paul's crises is the best crisis.
No, I'm just
Don't tell
saying,
Derek.
Derek really put a lot of work into it.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get Derek to come up here and sit with me at some point and talk to you guys about that sort of stuff.
Okay,
Because I know Derek is very story driven about a lot of things like that.
And a colony ship. I still want to see if I can get a.
So you're doing was that a lot of production on that planet? I think you were doing.
Well, it's a good planet. I wanted to get
Right.
some factories going. It's not like
Okay.
we're going to be playing long enough for it to matter.
Right, yeah. I like the Altarians. I don't know why. I just think she's cool.
Everybody
I always
likes
pick her, like or that race when I play, that or human, because I'm totally boring. Like, let's pick what's easy.
So now here we have another GNN report. Nature leaders from religious groups across the galaxy have seen fit to honor civilizations most responsible for improving the welfare of sentient beings.
Okay.
I have no idea what this means. All I know is I'm apparently the fourth. So apparently somebody is doing something and the Altarians are doing something. This must be like approval or like...
So this is going to show you
how much food
unknown
people have.
until you find it,
Yeah,
right?
until you meet the people.
Okay, gotcha.
So. Bye, Trixie. All
And there
right.
she goes. Oh, and down again, and flopped over.
Yeah.
Her name should be Floppy.
Yeah. All right. So
Like a
I'm
floppy
just
disk.
going to keep going, and
Okay.
I want to get.
God's gift too. Really?
All right. So now this is what is this? We're 5 weeks. Okay. So we have an election coming up.
All right. Oh, and it tells you you're likely to win by
so in
landslide.
5 weeks, right now, because there's very few people, and probably because I was cheating, everybody is happy. So I'm probably going to win, but it says you want to look at the government screen to get details. You want to open the economy screen, adjust your taxes.
Okay.
Actually, here, let's do a little thing. It's only 5 weeks, right? So I have 9
Right.
weeks. I'm going to raise my taxes a little and hope that I just to see what happens. All right. Because
really
apparently everybody's really happy. Well, I'll give a little more money. All right.
That's a good question. Dizzy Plays says some of these character models and faces, are they based on real people? For example, Stardock employees are totally made up by the artists. It's a little bit of both.
Well, the citizens, the citizens
yeah.
are a lot of them are based on us.
Yes.
All of the leaders are
are unique. Yes.
Are unique.
Yeah, but like one of the artists came around with a camera around the time of Crusade, took pictures of everybody for citizen portraits, just to give him, because a lot of times we work on crunch time, and he is one artist, so he that was easy for him to kind of work with. So it's really weird when you look and you see your face. Or Paul says he looks like Hitler, so there's that.
It's not Hitler. I look like a South American strongman.
Like a South American. How does that even?
Like one of those guys. I guess that's not really a thing so much anymore. Like a Pinochet.
We have somebody in here named Steven Seagal plays GalCiv. That's some dedication. I love it. Can you look at rebalancing the fleet combat powers? I can't play this game. I can literally play every other space-based game. Something about combat. So, do we have anything in the works for combat right now, or?
I guess the question really is when has he played it last?
Yeah, when's the last time you played Steven Seagal?
Because we're constantly, and Brad did a major overhaul on weapons and everything in Crusade. And
okay.
Then a little more balancing. More recently.
In Intrigue, okay.
But
so if you haven't played since Crusade,
you might want to look into it.
Yeah, and there were some more tweaks with Intrigue as well. It seems like, or within maybe 3.0. So
apparently I can't afford to buy that from her.
Oh, see, I love that. Well, it's not new. It's new as of Crusade, but the trade screen, I like that trade bar, because for me it made it a lot easier to tell when I'm getting a fair and equal.
That's an Intrigue.
Well, no, it was new in Crusade. Wasn't it?
No, that's new.
Oh, okay. I thought it was before. I thought it was pre-Intrigue. But
wait, you're right. You might be right. Okay, and so now we've got the
I
election.
market this stuff. I know.
Okay, so there was something we changed about it. That's all I know is like, no, I worked on that recently. What was it? And I think it was a bug fix. Where it was custom.
Okay.
But anyways, so now we're at the election screen. Okay. So this, now, in theory, I'm going to win. So this says Galactic Senate. Senators are prepared to vote. For some reason, not terribly clever. I'm still colonial, so I'm going to run the election. Everybody votes.
Look at that.
And I won pretty. So I could have cranked the taxes up more. But it's funny because it does look like, because I had raised the taxes, I did take a little hit here.
Right, a little bit. It looks like your dissenting planet is
not happy with me. That's because that's the one I and here.
Oh, we got a cult now.
Yes. On
that planet that did not approve of you. So that's convenient.
All right.
I'm sure that's not going to be a problem later.
I should send them down here.
You're very welcome, Steven Seagal, and thank you for the compliment, Light Ray Fuser. He says, thanks for a great 4X game.
All right.
So, you're welcome. I had nothing to do with it, but you're welcome.
All right. So now, let's see. If I can get one more planet. Okay, here's another colony ship. Let's go colonize this, and then we'll get... then we'll create a commonwealth over there.
Yeah.
Let's see. What other little... And do we have any other questions?
Nothing yet. Some compliments, so we'll take them.
Yeah, so when it comes to fleet combat, we're always balancing stuff like that.
Yeah.
Sometimes things will seem broken just because there's more nuance to it than you would expect.
Right.
Or because you're playing it too high a difficulty. And I don't know what his situation was, but it's like,
right.
I play lots of games. I'm going to play on hard. And then you get your butt kicked because you don't, because GalCiv is.
I get my butt kicked on beginner, okay? So no judging here.
I need to start building some.
I love the ship designer and all the stuff that you can do with it. And some of the stuff our community members do is absolutely insane. I love it.
Yeah, I love the fact that marketing has kind of taken to taking people's really good designs and.
Well, thank you, Paul.
And was that your idea?
Well, no, it was Katie, and then I helped pick them, and then we've got some guys on the
dungeon team. And you put up those pictures. That's really I stumble on those on my Facebook, but I'm always like,
yeah, no,
because the ship designer was kind of my baby, so I'm always.
Oh, did you work really heavily on this?
Well, I came up with the idea really in GalCiv II, and then in GalCiv III I designed it. Well, I designed most everything in the base game, but the way it's all implemented.
Right.
Although Brad changed something here. What was it? So new design. You can't go straight to the designer from the top anymore.
Oh, okay.
But yeah. But let's see. Do we have any?
I don't think I've loaded any cool stuff from the Steam Workshop onto this PC. I'll have to do that before the next time we play. I'll pick some cool designs.
It's always fun.
And being able to design a fleet is pretty cool now too.
Yeah. All right.
But Steven Siegel,
do custom styles on the fleets and everything.
Yeah. Siegel asks, how should I focus on building economy or military? Example, how many ships should I push for as defenders or explorers immediately?
It really depends on the map. It depends on whether you're near people. Mm-hmm. It depends on... I like to build... I like to focus on expansion for a little bit, and then immediately build some small, which ironically I'm not doing in this game because I'm not worried about it really getting everything. Building some small, cheapish, small ships as defenders, and that'll essentially make all the AIs go, oh, okay, he's not a pushover.
Right.
But I don't go attack them. Yeah. I just essentially try and build up a defense so that they go, we want to work with him instead of trying to kill him.
Instead of we want to blow him
Now,
up.
there are other people who immediately go out and just start murdering people. So it really depends on your style of gameplay.
Yeah, that's not my tactic.
Which is one of the things that the governments is so great about is that it gives you even more gameplay options.
Yeah.
Speaking of which... I guess not. I'm going to keep going legit for a little bit.
Legit for a little bit longer. Oh no! Not pirates again!
It's a scout, though. They're cheap.
That's true.
Let's watch him die.
Paul is evil. I love the way space looks. It's so cool. Whoa. And that's...
Where's my... there we go.
That's like this long, slow, terrible death. Man.
I had no weapons.
Killed by...
shot, destroyed. All
it's
right.
just, I'm going to float here, and then kaboom.
Okay, so
Defeat your certain story of my life.
This is why...
Hey, Dan, nice to see you.
To start building more defenders.
More defenders.
Okay, so... let's see.
Thanks so much for stopping in.
I'm going to... Okay, I've got it in mystery. I'm going to put my... Oh, he is already in production.
Oh, okay, yeah. Defeat near certain sounds like the story of my life too, actually, Steven Siegel, so I totally empathize with that.
All right, so now here's another thing where apparently...
You got a lot of civs that you haven't found yet.
Oh, wait, no, this is the most militant races.
Okay.
So this is... Now, if I had met everybody, it would be like, watch for the Drengen. I bet number one is the Drengen.
I have to read this out loud. So the Galactic Organization for Dialogue has published its annual shame list of the most militant, heavily armed, and just disagreeable civilizations in the galaxy.
Now, the problem with this is that means I'm not very well armed.
So that means you've got a problem if they come looking for you.
So, like, this is one of the things, like, I will tend to watch over here.
Right. Okay, down there.
So you watch Galactic Power, like, I'm doing okay, but the problem is I've only met 2 people.
Right.
So it doesn't really tell me much. And, let's see.
You just got to be friends with everybody.
Oh, and I think we did trickle this back into the base game, but we totally changed the way... Man, she's being really nice to me today. Oh, wait, no, she's not. She's cleaning up.
Oh,
although improved logistics is nice. I want that, yes.
So that's worth it?
Yeah. Okay, and now I finally got my first freighter. Okay. Which I sent down here to the Altarians, which will help my relations.
Oh, there they are.
One of the things we don't talk about very much is Civilization. You go to your trade thing.
Yeah.
And you can look at this and see where the trade route is and everything. But each
awesome.
one of these trade routes will help your relations with them.
So if you establish multiple trade routes between a single entity...
That's another thing to the other person, how much defense I should do.
Gotcha.
If you're focusing on diplomacy and you build a lot of diplomacy improvements, you do a lot of diplomacy techs, people won't want to kill you.
Right.
And then you don't have to build a bunch of defenses right away. But you still have to be careful.
Right.
Because if you get too weak... Because essentially, it's more complicated this, but let's just say I won, every nice thing I do, or every diplomacy I might get 1 point favored. Right. 1 point favored. So I might have 5 points of favored, but for every X more powerful you than you they are, they'll get more and more aggressive.
Right.
And essentially, at some point, that becomes more powerful than your diplomacy. And then they go, he's a really nice guy, but that planet looks really good. I'm going to go take... Yeah, so you kind of have to watch that. And if we didn't,
I'm just going to go ahead and take this.
But, you can... People do. You can win the game entirely diplomatically. It's very difficult. But
that explains a lot because I always try to be diplomatic, and I have not won a game of GalCiv in my 3 years here. So
it's usually a balancing act of knowing when is a good time.
Yeah. And for me, it's like there's literally never a good time, if we're being totally honest about it. So let's see, what else have we got? Anything else new? Okay, so now I've got 2 planets here. Yeah.
So now I like God's Gift and Himalaya.
These are randomly assigned names, right?
Yes. So I'm going to...
Somebody had to put them in there at some point, though.
Well, yeah, we actually had when we first built the game, we let people name stars.
Oh, that's right.
And then we also had a big giant list, and I have like an Excel spreadsheet of like 10,000 names. Or whatever.
Yeah, well, with something this big and this randomized, I imagine you'd have to acquire a lot. Same with the names of the citizens and stuff, right?
Okay, so now I'm going to go into government. I'm going to say Commonwealth. I'm going to say create new Commonwealth. And then you get this new screen.
Hey, Writing Bull. It's so nice to see you. Writing Bull's one of our German fans, and he did a Let's Play series for us for Intrigue.
Oh, neat.
So thanks so much for stopping in. And I'll have Spencer put a link to your Let's Play series in the chat here in a second here. But
okay, so I can
check it out.
Select this, and what is happening?
What'd you do?
Oh, I haven't selected the first one.
He broke it.
So this yellow line is any planet within the radius of that.
Yeah.
I can add to this Commonwealth. So I'm going to add this one.
Oh, okay.
So now these two planets will become their own civilization. Mm-hmm. Now I can then go to customize. I think if I just hit done, it'll automatically do this. Yes.
Sure. There you go.
And then I'm gonna change who it is.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm going to change it to, no, I don't like it.
Somebody pointed out the other day that the Onyx Hive kind of looks like Space Groot. And I'm like, oh,
that's funny. Yeah, I never thought about that.
And this is before, and I thought that was kind of cool. I'm like, hey, we got a Space Groot.
We used to get Earthworm Jim. People said he was
Earthworm? Oh, my gosh. I used to love that when I was a kid.
So I'm going to...
I think the Tick was better, though.
All right. Well, I'm talking about the... Yes. There was a game for Windows 95. It was one of the first Windows-based games.
Paul, in 95, I was 10 years old.
Yes. Well, I was waiting in CompUSA line.
Are you serious?
Okay. And then you can even say, I want these guys to be techno crazy. So I'm going to move that. I'm going to move tech. Actually, I don't want them to expand at all. So I'm going to lower this all the way down here.
Right.
I want them to study logistics and let's see, and wealth.
Thank you,
Spencer. I want to
Spencer.
trade with them. So I'm essentially tweaking their personality.
Okay.
And this will essentially make it so, and I don't...
So this is the personality of the overall Commonwealth.
Of their Commonwealth, yes.
Okay.
Now, they inherit everything from you. But it gives you a little bit... So I want them to be traders. And I want them to be diplomatic. And I want them to be greedy. Because I want them to have a bunch of money.
Right. Can you pick as many traits as you want? Or
you can. These are all weighed by the AI when it is playing them. I can then go in and add a description. This is their slogan. We love you. Sky Morteals, we really love you. And
2 L's in really.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Why is there no spell checker?
I'm a writer. I'm sorry.
And then we hate people.
We hate people
who can spell.
Okay, that's fair.
All right. So now I've created this new race, and this is indeed a glorious day. So now this race. Oh, I didn't give them a new logo. I randomly picked one.
Right.
But now, if I go to the diplomacy screen,
the Commonwealth's
you'll
up
see
there.
I have this Commonwealth here, and I can look at them just like a normal race. I could spy on them. I don't know why I would want to, but they're essentially a permanently allied race for me, and the AI will play for
Now, who is that? Like, I know you picked him to represent your commonwealth, but is he somebody of significance in GalCiv that
He's
I'm not familiar
the
with?
leader of that came with the Rise of the Terrans campaign.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So there's only so many people.
Right. No, that
I mean,
makes
you
sense.
can put pictures of yourself in there or whatever, or your friends, or more likely,
Yeah.
Captain Picard or whatever.
Well, Writing Bull would like to thank you for an amazing game. And there's another question up here. So XDevilize asks if, he says, I'm able to create 2 custom constructors with 2 construction mods, allowing me to just upgrade a constructor after using it to build a mining base, which is much cheaper in method and cost and logistics. This allows me to Zerg very easily on practically any difficulty. Do the devs not think this is OP?
When is the last time you played the game?
Yeah, XDevilize, when is the last time that you did that?
Because star bases don't work like that anymore.
Oh, well. Yeah, because I know that you guys had done some work on star bases.
Yeah,
probably
we
for that exact
changed
reason,
them.
right?
Well, yeah, the problem was you could spam the galaxy with star bases. And the early solution in GalCiv II and everything was to make it so you could only build them so close to each other.
Okay.
But then people would just build a massive star base in one turn and then go build another massive star base the next turn.
Right.
And as much as I enjoyed exploiting that loophole, but now, and I believe this is in the base game too, you have to upgrade your star bases with resources. Yeah. So like here, I can add this star base marketplace. I just buy it, but I have to have Durantium and money.
Gotcha.
To do it.
Okay.
So boom. Now, you can't build. There's no such thing as modules anymore. Mm-hmm. Essentially, one constructor will create a starbase,
right.
And then from that point on, you upgrade it with money and resources.
Okay, perfect.
So that's a substantial change to the base game.
Genshuku says he remembers when starbases were broken messes. It was a good time.
Yeah, no, it's one of those
jamming a constructor ship with like 8 constructor modules, throwing them into one starbase.
Yeah. The funny thing is, it was fun. It was just OP, and we literally kept it because people liked doing it.
Right.
And I even remember having a big talk with Brad at one point where I'm like, we need to come up with better. He was like, we should change this. I said, yeah, I'm going to kind of miss that. And he goes, well, is it fun? And I'm like, I really liked it. And a lot of people were like, so we left it, and then we tried to fix it in other ways by making it so you didn't have to micromanage it and everything. But in the long run, it essentially just, it wasn't a good solution.
XDevilize says that he has the new expansion and tried his same strategy yesterday night and it worked just fine. I can build several mining bases with no backlash.
With modules?
I don't know.
Oh, wait. Yes, you could probably still build multiple bases, but you can't upgrade with those modules.
Oh, okay.
In other words, if you build a module, you could build 3 star bases with one constructor.
So you can still kind of
but you still can't. And I'm never. I honestly. But each of those constructors, I believe, also requires. Is he playing base game?
They said he's got the new expansion.
He's got. Well, no, but does he have Crusade?
Do you have Crusade?
Because a lot of stuff changed in Crusade.
I can upgrade my constructor after using it once.
So it requires an administrator.
Should we have him send you a save game?
Well,
so you can take a look at it? Oh, okay, we're just going to do it.
I want to build this. Okay, so he essentially has a construct. Oh, I see what he's doing. I get it. He is. I mean,
I'm glad you get it because I don't.
It's still. I still thought
requires
this wouldn't
2
work.
admins per constructor.
Okay, so he does have this part. It's heavily mount. Just remove some other components.
I didn't know it limited you that way.
Well, he. Yeah, see, this is 90. So maybe he's having to. He has some miniaturization tech or something. Okay, you're right. Okay, so you could do that. But what he is doing, can I get this right, is you upgrade it, you buy a ship, you then fly the ship a little further, and then upgrade it again to have 2 modules again. And then do that, and then do that, and do that. That's super cheesy. We really should probably just make it so you can only, so that a constructor module is
They say yes, that's exactly what they're doing.
Okay, yes. Sorry, no, I had not, that is still.
See, now you've outed it to Paul, and now you got to
well, no, that's, see, the problem is what we're going to have to do, and this is kind of I thought we had already handled by adding the administrators. I mean, I guess each time he's upgrading, he's being charged for the administrators, right?
I would assume.
So it's technically a legitimate tactic because it would require a buttload of administrators.
Right.
So I'm curious. I'll talk to Brad about that. I don't know how bad that is.
Yeah.
I would probably make it so construction modules are one-offs, and that would kind of stop that problem.
Right.
And also, it's like at this point, they really should be. I actually thought they already were. So anyway, so we've made a commonwealth. What else have we? Oh, we haven't done any trade. Oh, and that's because, and maybe I will cheat at this point.
I was going to say, if you want to cheat some more, now would be the
Yes,
time.
let's go
we got
ahead.
about 10 minutes left or
Okay,
so.
let's go ahead and fast unlock.
10 minutes, and then we have to go back and do like actual work or something.
Fast unlock. All right.
Right, Trixie?
So what I just did is I unlocked. So now all of the governments that are not blocked by a racial trait. So I still can't do theocracy. I still can't do unity.
Right.
I can't do galactic communion because this requires benevolence. Oh, now some of these. So now if I had been picking benevolent, I could do that.
Okay.
This requires malevolent, but I've been picking pragmatic, which is probably Star Federation.
Likely, yeah.
So there's a bunch of these. So I'm going to change my government to Interstellar Republic.
Okay.
And you'll see here that I get... I want one that has the marketplace. Yes, this is...
Oh, right. Yeah, we want to show off the marketplace for sure.
Right. So now in the marketplace, now I can come in here and I can buy and sell Durantium. So now I have been mining Prometheon, right?
Right.
And, I have some of this too. So I'm going to sell. Let's just say I'm just going to wipe myself out because we don't care.
Your civilization has no resources. Good job.
And then I want, although I just sold Durantium, let's say what I really wanted was some Malarium, which I didn't have. So I can then buy.
Until you have no credits. And then you see the price goes up as Paul buys because it's based on supply and demand.
Yeah, and it's based on the whole galaxy. So if you have and now here's an interesting, so governments, one of the things we talked about here, let's go look at this government that I just got. So this one has more cabinet members. Christy's one of them.
Hey, look, it's me. Twice.
A science advisor. And for some reason, she looks disabled.
I'm a science advisor? That's
Your prime minister.
A terrible idea. Why am I great at it?
Wait a second. That might be a bug.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Anyway, so it gave me this ship, the prime minister. It gave me...
I'm a prime minister.
And it also gave me 3 cabinet members and the slot here. And
for the crisis manager.
Yes. So... But the ship I got, which is what this icon is, I thought it would show it a thumbnail, is this ship. And this is a government ship. Now, the beauty of this is when I change governments, I get to keep this ship.
Oh, that's so shiny.
Yeah, so all of the government ships are
I'm all about
fancy
shiny
gold. So now these ships aren't necessarily for fighting.
Yeah.
This one is direct oversight of Prime Minister, provides... world 30% to all construction, influence, and morale.
Oh, wow.
So if I station this here on Earth, and I go to construction, you'll see the Prime Minister on there is plus 30%. So that is, so that's a really good...
And you can always move that, right?
You can move it to another planet when you want.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
So that's that. And then, of course, espionage is pretty much the same. Was that telling me I'm being spied on?
Irdirth asks, why are bureaucrats allowed a theocracy but not a devout race? I don't know, that feels like a Derek question. Because he came up with the governments?
No, because I think the Kryn, it's designed for the Kryn or whatever. And by default are devout and bureaucrats. and bureaucrats. So maybe that's the reason. Actually, this is ancient.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems a little odd combination, but that's a Derek call. I'm sure he had a technology.
Okay.
Yeah.
Singularity, objectivism. Interesting. Like, I really love the icons. I hate to give Leo props, but I gotta give Leo props.
Why do you hate to give Leo props?
Because he's mean to me.
He's not mean to you. You guys spend every lunch together.
I know. I love him to death.
You guys are buddies.
We feel like physically ill when we give each other compliments or something. You know?
Well, that makes sense.
It's like he's like, "Oh, Christy, you look really nice today. Oh God, I feel gross now. Excuse me." So, but that's friendship, I guess.
All right. So, what else? What other things do we? I haven't been messing with taxes.
No.
Oh
and
wow! Look at all these.
Oh wow!
Look
Okay.
at all these things I have. When did I get all these? Oh, I unlocked. I'm like, wow, wow, that's great. So I got 5
Paul doesn't know what's
free
going
meters.
on.
Yeah, I'm like, what?
One of us has to know what's going on, Paul, and it's definitely not me. So.
I'm a little disappointed that I didn't get any more of the crises. Maybe I could. So how long do we have?
Well, we're about to wrap
we're
up,
almost out of time, so never mind.
But I'm
play
gonna
the
try
game.
and...
The crises are awesome.
I'm going to try to drag Paul again.
They add a lot
again.
to the overall flow of the game.
Make sure you
I want to know
save
what's
this
going on
game
with this white.
so that we can try and pull like from a later saved game next time we play.
Actually,
and hopefully we'll get more crises and things like that. He said, "Darn it."
Darn it. Did you see that, though, when there was white?
No, what'd you do?
That was a bug that we fixed like a year ago.
Oh, no.
Somehow snuck back in. I'm going to have to go yell. Well, not yell. Ask nicely to get
Ask
that.
nicely to fix.
So, yeah. So this is essentially the game. I'm sure there's some really cool new feature that I'm forgetting. And everybody's going to yell at me about. But the main thing is the governments, the commonwealths, and the marketplace, and the crises. Those are the meat of the expansion.
So speaking of
if you
crises,
play big maps, you're going to love the commonwealth. If you play long games, you're going to love the crises. I don't want to belittle. I don't want to in any way say that that's not great, but this is really an expansion for people who play big, rich games.
Right.
So if you like the game, but it adds more depth.
Right.
This is a depth expansion. It's not a lot of bells and whistles. It's not like, oh, look, everything's different. It's more like, we're going to reward you for playing the game and allow you, so you don't, so if you have patterns, I always do this, I always do that, I always do this.
This changes up those patterns.
This will allow you to change. It
forces you. So, quick question on crises before we wrap up, because Genshiku asked it. There are certain crises that don't give you a crises manager, right?
Yes.
Because he said that he's completed several. He's never seen one despite successfully completing crisis, but it's not, he's not guaranteed with every crisis. So you may just
I think I would have to look because Derek added them, but I think it's about half of them, and it's usually the later game ones.
Okay. So, how much will the AI use the new features?
It better use them all. Brad has been on this project a lot, and he's very much been paying attention to the AI. So I would say
I've heard a lot of people say that the AI really upped its game.
More than you would expect.
Yes. So that being said, Paul and I actually have to go do work or something. Hey Trixie, you want to come say goodbye?
Trixie,
come here.
Wake up.
Come here.
Come here.
We're bringing back the dog because everybody loves the dog. What a good girl.
Sit.
Say hi.
High five.
Good girl.
Say bye.
So from
bye,
Paul,
bye.
Trixie, and I, have a wonderful Friday and an awesome weekend. Thanks so much for hanging out with us.
All right.
So, see you later.
Bye. That's awesome.
Just pet her for a sec while I take us off. Good girl.
Good girl. You happy?